In this episode, we're taking you on an inspiring journey to the outskirts of Prague, where a historic industrial site along the banks of the Vltava River has undergone a remarkable transformation. Join us as we explore Modřanský Cukrovar, a former brownfield site that has blossomed into an attractive residential neighbourhood rich in public spaces, modern amenities, and homes that integrate the latest in sustainable solutions. We'll examine some of the smart innovations that are saving water, reducing energy consumption, cutting carbon emissions, and contributing to increased biodiversity. But what makes Modřanský Cukrovar truly impressive is how quickly it has developed into a lively and engaged community. This is largely thanks to an inclusive urban planning process, where local residents had a say in shaping the common areas and the infrastructure that they desired. Today, we'll meet some of the people who, through their engagement and everyday lives, are creating a community to be proud of. It's a beautiful day here today, blue skies, and one of the first really nice days of spring. So here we are at Modřanský Cukrovar, and I'm being guided around by three of the people who've made this such an amazing place to be. We'll start with you, Petr.
Hello, my name is Petr Dušta. I'm project manager in Skanska Residential, and I'm responsible for development and realization of this beautiful project.
Thank you. And Ondřej, the architect.
Hello, my name is Ondřej Mundl. I'm design director in Hubert Christoph Studio, based in Brno, Prague and London. I'm responsible for this project from the beginning, from the first sketch till the realization.
And that must make you proud.
Yeah, it does.
And Ondřej, Sustainability Ondřej, I'm going to call you. Can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah. Hello, my name is Ondřej Flanderka and I'm Sustainability Manager in Skanska Residential, Czech Republic, and I try to implement in our project many different sustainability solutions.
Great. Great to have all three of you here. Thank you. And I'm going to turn to you first, Petr. Tell us about where we are.
So we are in the south of the Prague, just very close to River Vltava, and we are facing to our project that we are developing since we've been developing since 2015 when Skanska bought the property in this beautiful location, which I really like, and there will be about roughly 800 homes and also some commercial buildings.
And we're here at the main entrance. You can probably hear the road traffic in the background. Now we're up here on a little bit of a rise, so we'll walk down towards the river in a little bit of a while. But let's walk, if we can walk a little bit down here along the lawn. One of the great attractions in the Modrani area comes from nature itself. Most apartments in the new development have windows facing the river, and the buildings closer to the riverbank are shorter, meaning that as many people as possible are able to enjoy the view. The project involves revitalising the riverside area, adding new elements like steps down to the water, open grassy areas and public grills. The whole neighbourhood has been designed as a pedestrian zone, off the main road. Vehicles will drive directly into underground garages. Around 30% of the parking spaces there will be prepared for electric car chargers, and there will be other shared charging stations that will be publicly available. Now, there's a very large silver animal ahead of us. What are we seeing there?
So it's a very good question because it's a piece of art and it seems to be an animal. However, it shouldn't be animal, and it depends on imagination of people that are passing this piece of art, and they could be deciding what it is, if it's a bear or if it's like a creature that no one knows.
Let's get a bit closer and have a look. Now, the artworks here have been a very particular part of the development of the neighbourhood. So, Ondřej, we're near this very striking piece of art. Tell me about the thinking behind the modern art that is here at Modřanský Cukrovar.
Well, the topic of the public art in here is the modern art, but on the other hand, the important thing is to be able to name the places in here. So the particular art which is in here represent the entrance to the whole area. So it means that if somebody want to meet here and have some place to meet or spend half an hour or 5 minutes, this is perfect place, a named place where they can meet.
So I could say I'm going to meet you at the big silver bear, or whatever this animal is. We're not really sure. It's a mythical animal. Let's keep going. So now we're walking down the slope and we can see the river and a playground with a family outside. Yeah, this is the famous archaeological site. Can one of you explain what we mean when we're saying that this is an archaeological site?
Yes, I really like the place where we are staying because we can easily see the connection towards the river, and it's a beautiful place where Vltava River is. And also, what we can see, it's a second piece of art that it's a children's playground, and inside the children's playground and sand, which is ancient sand, 10,000 years old. So we can easily see the buildings that were created according to old buildings from the sugar factory, and those small charts that they can easily dig out and find the whole full footprint of the old sugar factory.
Wow, it really does look amazing. There's a little boy down there who's enjoying, I think it's a little boy, really enjoying digging down there and digging things up. So, as you said, the whole old factory is down there for children to dig up and play in. Beautiful little sand pit overlooking the river.
Yeah, our goal is to create like different spaces. Like there is a huge variety of spaces, huge range of different spaces, and some of them are more private, some of them are more public. But we didn't want to create like straight line what is public and private. We feel that using the terrain, using the type of pavement, using the different atmospheres creates naturally the difference between the public and private, and those yards, those green yards in each of the face are one of the most valuable part of the design, that every single face has its own semi-private yard which is very safe.
It's very nice. I haven't been into any of these yards yet, but I think we'll be doing that shortly to see what you've been doing there. But now we're walking down past the river and around to the next section. So now we're actually getting to visit a family here. And before we go on the tour of their home, I've got to say, looking up from the balcony, it's astounding. It's looking out over the river. I can see a castle in the background, hills in the background. So now we're going to have a look around this lovely apartment. It's a big apartment. There's a nice big hallway stretching down with dark tiles. Very strong coloured feature walls in the bedrooms. And now we're in the kids' room, which has got an amazing bed up 1 floor up. Is it 3-meter ceiling or
4 meters almost?
3.3, 3.2 meter. Okay, but so that's why there's room for the loft bed here.
That's why it's so special, because every time when our neighbors came to visit, they are just wondering about, wow, that's completely different than ours. We didn't know that we could have it.
Yeah, very unusual in a modern apartment. But it really does give a special feeling of air and space. And the big windows as well. So now we're leaving this very cool kids' room. And now we're coming into another beautiful room with, again, the great bed that's sort of raised up off the floor, so it's creating a nice little play area underneath. Again, beautiful big windows looking out at the city. By the looks of it, the children are really enjoying their rooms here as well.
Oh yes, they enjoy it very much. And as the bed is up, enough space for play, for games. Even the room is not that big, but it makes you feel it's quite big because of the ceiling is so high.
Yeah, the high ceilings and very clever the way that you've designed it with the beds. As you say, it creates a lot more space. Ondřej, I heard earlier that it's unusual for you as an architect and design director to be able to visit the finished project and actually see how people are living in these homes.
It's a great experience to see how the people really accommodate the space you design. It's great that the space is flexible enough that, for example, the family in this case, that they do have more kids than just two. There is an option to have another extra floor which they put and inserted in. So our first reason why we decided to create such a high space is to give an extra quality to the space, but we wouldn't imagine that somebody will come and use this as a much more flexible way than we expected. It's a great experience to see that.
Yeah, it's really nice. I take the opportunity to ask the couple who bought their apartment in this unique area 6 months ago what they think of their new home. Hi, and it's really, really nice to be able to visit you in one of the homes here at Modřanský Cukrovar. Can I ask you just to introduce yourselves with your first names?
Já se jmenuji Martin.
And you are?
Já jsem Lucie.
To start with, what's it like living here? You've been here, I think you said, for about 6 months. What are your impressions in 6 months?
Bydlí se nám tu nádherně. Teď začíná jaro a tady ten projekt je krásný tím, že je velmi komunitní, to znamená, začínáme objevovat
Lucy says that what's beautiful about this project is that it's very community oriented. That is, they're starting to discover the gardens, the playgrounds, they meet their neighbours. And besides the gardens, besides the architecture, they feel that Skanska is giving this place a new soul. So from a brownfield, a former industrial site, something truly unique and beautiful is emerging.
Novou duši, takže z Brownfieldu se stalo něco opravdu jedinečného a krásného.
A lot of the things here about sustainability, about reducing carbon emissions, about saving water and energy and things like that. Do you notice those sorts of features here? And did they play a role in your purchase decision?
Ty velké věci, které se týkají udržitelnosti, jakože výroba energie na střeše, předehřev vody pro vlastně ohřev do...
Martin says that the big things that relate to sustainability, like energy production on the roof and preheating water for heating the apartments, those sorts of features make sense to them, and they appreciate the attention the project is paying to them. That's perhaps the most important for him among these technologies. The project uses advanced solutions that not only reduce environmental impact, but also save money in the long run by reducing the usage of drinkable water and other resources. Toilets, for example, are flushed using grey water. This is water from baths, showers and hand basins. The water is collected in a technical room in the basement where it is purified through a 4-chamber system and then recirculated and used in the toilets. So now we're going down into the basement to have a look at the grey water system. So here we have Petr and Ondřej, our sustainability manager, who are going to talk us through how the grey water system works. There's a great mural here just when you're coming into the garage that's got all the different layers here. But turning to you, Ondřej, okay, so this is taking water and it's generally from sink. I mean, here on the diagram, it's a bathtub and a shower, but it's also coming from like kitchen sinks?
No, it's only from the bathroom. But as you can see, we can use the water then for our toilets, for flushing toilets, and especially in this first project, we can use it also for the washing machines. It's the first project in Skanska Residential and in Czech Republic when you can use this recycled grey water also for washing machines.
This means you don't have to use drinking water to flush the toilet. And that's, I mean, it's almost criminal these days. What is it, 40 litres of water or something in every flush? It's,
we have the results from the waterworks in Prague, and the daily consumption in Prague is around 110 litres per day. And we know that around 25% from this 110 litres is used for flushing toilets. And we can save this drinking water with this system for recycled grey waters.
Here we are in the grey water treatment room. So, Petr, what are we looking at here?
So this room serves as a cleaning technology for the grey water, and what we see in front of us is the first tank, which is sedimentation tank, and all water coming from the baths goes to this tank, and also there is one specialty. We put pipes inside, and we are withdrawing or recuperating heat from this tank and using this heat for preheating hot water used in the building. Then there we can see on the left side is a tank that goes oxygen. So oxygen is cleaning the water again. Then it goes for the two other tanks which are membrane. And then the final one, which on the biggest one, is the accumulation tank. Then the water is stored and pumped back into the homes and used for flushing toilets and also for future washing machines.
Now I'd like us to talk a little bit about some of the solutions that you've been able to introduce here and implement. The whole water concept goes beyond the grey water system. Can you talk about this blue-green system?
In this project, we are using something what we call the blue-green infrastructure, and just for imagination what it means, blue represents water, green represents greenery, and the whole system is designed to keep the water as it is, and it means that, for example, we are keeping the rainwater on the roof. It's the first stage. The second stage, we are using accumulation tanks that the water inside we can use for the gardening. Every rainwater stays in the location, and this is the principle of blue-green infrastructure.
I'd like to add that this whole blue-green system helped us to design the landscaping, because it's quite important that this landscaping is not about the aesthetics, but all those swales and rain gardens, etc. Everything what we design in public space does some kind of job in terms of blue-green infrastructure. So if you walk and see the things, the trees and the shape, the very specific shape of the landscaping, it's all about function. So in total it creates a sustainable landscape park which includes aesthetics and functions together.
Modřanský Cukrovar will also use green roofs as part of its sustainability approach. These low-maintenance roofs are covered in low vegetation and enhance water retention efficiency. Some of the roofs also feature solar panels.
In this project, we are very focused on energy consumption and energy savings. It means at first we start with energy calculations and the design of an envelope of the building. It means very strict parameters for envelope, for windows. We are also using heat recuperation inside the units, and also we are recuperating the heat coming from the grey water system, using external blinds to protect overheating of building, and also green roofs are helping with the overheating. It works like a natural cooling system.
So that reduces the need for cooling with air conditioning.
Green roofs simply helping people not to use air conditioning.
But you're not just saving energy; you're also generating some.
That's true. We are using on top of the building, on the roof, we are using two types of photovoltaic panels. One is photovoltaic, which are producing energy, and the second is photothermic, and the photothermic panels are used for preheating hot water for the apartments.
And also, there's something smart that you're doing with the ventilation.
For ventilation, we are using forced ventilation, and we are using heat coming from the inside of the units and recuperating the heat.
And that's reducing the need for heating. And you also said you're using underfloor heating, which is more efficient.
And of course, for the energy consumption or lowering energy consumption, it's helping us floor heating that needs lower temperatures for heating.
Very smart. Let's keep going.
We are in here in the, I think, 5th floor. So this is the place with really one of the best views. And what we appreciate that we are able to give this spectacular view to all the people living in here. So the difference is between having this top terrace, roof terrace, just for one flat, comparing to share this roof terrace and those view with all the others. That's something which makes the projects really special.
Describing it, it's there's wooden floors, there's wooden paneling and seats. There are garden beds here. We can see some of those bulbs coming up, but also lots and lots of different types of shrubs and bushes and flowers. Now it's just coming into spring, so I'm guessing the complexion of this is going to change as the seasons progress.
Exactly, it varies during the whole year, and the important thing about the greenery, as you mentioned, is that it's not just a visual quality, but there are a lot of herbs or the plants which you can use, you can eat. So it's a really like part of the whole design. It's not just about aesthetics, but it's about function. So that you can use the herbs which is planted here. It's another tiny detail which makes it like complex.
And, of course, also having the different types of plants and so on is good for the biodiversity. I think that sort of bringing in the different insects and bees and birds and all that sort of stuff, they love it when there's not just like this monoculture, correct?
You're right, like all the biodiversity in here, especially including all the green roofs, the extensive green roofs or those intensive green roofs or the landscape which is around. It's all about biodiversity that we use the local trees, local type of plants. So it's really part of the surrounding nature. It's not something artificial brought in this place, but it becomes part of this whole site.
Now we're just going to walk up because even though we're on the 5th floor and we've got this nice terrace, we can actually go up another level. So we're up, and the 3D printed area, I guess, it's like a public bathroom. So it's astounding. You wouldn't know that it was 3D printed, but I've only ever seen small 3D printing, but it looks like it's made in concrete, but it's very, very cleverly done. And this whole area, it's under a roof. There's a partial roof here, so people have got shade. And the view, it really is spectacular. We're looking out at the junction of two rivers there, and fields on the other side, looking off to the hills. This is a real holistic approach to sustainability, where all these seemingly small details work together and contribute to a larger whole. From how the subtle rise in the landscaping naturally channels water, to how the heat recovery from wastewater effectively reduces the energy needs of the building. It's a clear example of how integration and thoughtfulness at every step can create a more sustainable neighbourhood and a truly vibrant community. Thank you very, very much for taking the time today and for showing me around this amazing, amazing neighbourhood.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Thank you for joining us for this special episode from Prague. Please remember to follow us on your favourite podcast platform so that you don't miss out on the next time we have an episode. And as always, you can reach out to us via Skanska's LinkedIn account, because of course you're following us there, or by emailing to podcast@skanska.com. I'm John Ambrose, and this is Shaping Sustainable Places.